Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of OilTown here in City Skylines 2, where last episode I decided to temporarily build a road outside of the region, and right now the traffic's been held up by a little bit of a car crash, but also I think we're now already starting to see the last of the vehicles arriving. I don't know, boys. What do you think right now? Absolute chaos got created to the point where my whole island right now is complaining. We are now going to discover the aftermath of me building an outside of the region connection to what has always been an isolated island. Oh, good God. Now, it's not just this one connection that I built. I went extra foolish and built a second one as well, which, as of right now, cars are plummeting their way into OilTown, and we are having many issues. Guys, if you're enjoying this series, please make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new right here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to be deleting the connections at the end of this episode. I told you it was temporary. It wasn't going to be here forever. And we are now going to have an island filled with cars. And it will take at least a generation for the cars to slowly disappear. I'm already looking at the kind of the highway connection right now. We're going to see, considering I built this island, this city, this great nation based on not needing passenger vehicles, we're going to see how good my roads stack up to having passenger vehicles. So I think first thing we need to do then is actually just kind of solve a little bit of the power issue right now. We seem to be overloaded. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly throw in, and I'm probably going to throw it in over here somewhere, another power transformer station. I'm going to drop it in here just so it's kind of out the way. And obviously underground we need to hook up these power lines, which can be hooked up if I kind of bring it this way. Gotta watch out for these overlapping items and all that jazz. Two here. That should give us a little bit of an extra boost and push some of the power lines elsewhere, but it won't last long. That's doing the bare minimum right now. That is doing the bare minimum. So in terms of the backlog then, we've now finally got rid of the backlog. You could argue everything I did last episode to make the roads a little bit better kind of worked, kind of maybe, not really. But it's mainly we've now got all the vehicles in, all the new people are moving in, so what's now coming in is a nice, normal, steady flow. Now, we've got these mass amounts of vehicles coming down right now, which it kind of breaks here. So I think this is where the front of the tail head kind of was. But then we're getting backed up into our second jam. So, to be honest with you boys, it might backlog again right now. And that's all because they get to this point after the underground tunnel, and then they get to split in their directions, which ultimately does slow them down. And a lot of you guys said that I should maybe have this run straight through to the highway, no connections to the ground, which is easier said than done. But I think that could work. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to first connect that directly to the highway. So everyone who enters directly to the highway, because the other side seems to work pretty fine as that's now connected directly to the highway. So let's see if we can do it to this and then see what happens. And then we're going to try and solve each and every single one of these little issues that we've got dotted through the island. So to do this, I'm actually going to pause the game right now. And I'm going to delete the road I'm going to delete it to here, okay? And I'm going to do something that I've never done in this game, I don't believe. I'm also going to get rid of the overpass. I'm going to delete you. I think that will be okay. What I'm going to do is have this highway road here stacked over and then drop down to this tunnel. Which that might have been a big mistake deleting that. We'll see. We'll see right now. So we get to keep the road underneath, which will be really, really handy for us. And just to kind of see that into a better perspective, we're going to run this first and foremost to here. So we have even more road connections, which we're going to have to anarchy this one here, because the way it's kind of situated. And then I don't need to run one under there. That should be fine. So the 4-lane road, which we're going up a level here, boys. We're not going to anarchy it to begin with, I don't think. Is that going to connect? Oh, it's a different style of road altogether. But basically, right, we've got to bring it all the way down to here. But the problem is, because it builds over an existing road, it doesn't stack correctly. So if I anarchy it to kind of go across the top, you'll then notice that we have this completely elevated road above our original road underneath. So we get all the fanciness of the original connections, which now, I did tell them they can't do certain turns, which now it means that this road freely flows to the highway, and if they want to go anywhere, they've got to utilize a highway junction. I'm hoping that will just kind of help the free flow in and split them easier on the trumpet. In my head, it makes sense. Like you guys also agreed about this in the comments last episode. But now, I've got to get it connected down to there, which I'm hoping that works. So, back into play mode. Just give it a memento right now. That building is now not situated correctly. And I suppose I could also, in reality, kind of extend a little bit further with the offices. There we go. Get some big boys in. Now that gives them the ability to free flow in, but they do weirdly then slow down here because it's a different style of road. Let me just quickly upgrade that road. So bam, bam. And I always forget it's got to be a bridge. Otherwise, it's doing awkward stuff. There we go. So now after the confusion, right, they're able to freely flow up to the trumpet to choose if they want to go this way to head down in that direction, if they want to go over this way to head in that direction, and it just maintains them at a higher speed limit. At least that's what we're hoping anyway. At least that is what we are hoping. It might cause issues here as they all then start to merge, but there's not really a lot I can do with that in the vanilla game. So we are starting to see a little bit more flow on the go, and has that kind of now... It's slowly starting to funnel itself down to here, but how long does that backlog now go? So there's me thinking the original backlog is about to end. It's now backlogging to there, so if we get this moving quick enough, it might now not backlog all the way back to the edge of the region. You never know. You never know, boys. You never know. But that could be a good way to kind of do it. It could be a good way. They could all ultimately want to filter into this one direction to go wherever they need to go, but if they can go this way if they want. There's, you know, nothing stopping them doing what they need to do. There's a vehicle there doing it right now, which is all good. There is a garbage truck doing a complete 180 because it now realizes it can't turn off down any of the roads down in that direction. Oh my goodness me, it's absolute chaos right now. Absolute chaos. So, by me doing what I did I lose what these vehicles are able to do? No, they can now physically do the left turns. Yes, they can go back to their original left turns right now, which, oh, you can't do your right turn. So I kind of need to bring it back in where they can do certain turns. And basically just get rid of what I said before, because now the amount of traffic on this, it doesn't matter anymore. It literally does not matter. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got it all back in so vehicles can do what they need to do. And it also, the same again for going straight ahead on the side streets. I forgot that bit as well. There we go. To enable more flow underneath. Now, this is a stacked highway. Right, very good. Very good. So, it will cause issues down the road. Get it? Down the road. Literally down the road with now all these junctions. But at least I can now see where the vehicle traffic is heading. Now, having all these vehicles is a really, really big problem. It's caused us some... Somebody said that the high resource cost is from the new update. I don't feel like it potentially is. I feel like it's now because they can import the goods via vehicle, it's a different price point. So, yeah, they're now fighting. Which is what I feel. We got traffic leading down from here. And what I would like to know is, you know my existing car parks? Are these now starting to get vehicles coming in because people can now drive to, like, places? Is this how it's now working? I don't know. This junction seems to be going pretty sweet. They all stop and start, wait for their turn. We've got all the directions set up, you know, freely flowing roads and all that jazz. It seems to work itself out pretty well. Pretty well, to be honest with you. It works itself out pretty well. Yes. That's my evil laugh there, boys, because I'm so excited about this. I really am. So let's forget about the high resource cost at the moment. We do have an issue with still waiting for a hearse. Now, the problem with that is I did place down an additional crematorium over here. But the issue with this crematorium is it's got to be stuck in the vehicle traffic to even access any of the buildings over in this vicinity, which for us is not good. It really, really is not good. So we got to find out ways in which we can kind of improve that. Now, we did add additional ones down here, which I feel like is what we kind of may need to do. We need not more vehicles. It's just the thought process behind having more... hold on. Oh, no. That's fire and rescue. Having just more processing capacity. Now, we do have these newer variations here we can work with, but I think the original crematorium, the processing... Oh, no, this has a... No. I'm gonna stick to the original. I'm gonna drop 1, 2. Let's go for a third one. 3. I'll do one more. 4. Right. That gives us so much more capacity. I'll add a couple of garages to it, obviously. But it's more about the processing capacity is what I want. The extra incinerator, the extra storage, and then the extra vehicles is just the added bonus. It's not the vehicles that we need. It's the processing capabilities. Because the vehicles can get back and collect another body before the body's processed, if that makes sense. So it's adding 4 here. It's just literally on the outskirts of the town, so allow them, because this is mainly where the bulk of people live, and it's mainly where the biggest complaints are. So having that extra capacity in this vicinity is pretty good for us. Right, I'm going to keep glancing over at this road, and it seems to be following through. Now, the other downside is, because I had added in 2 roads, now we just get the out of region traffic that enter the region and just simply want to exit the region. They use our region as a bypass, or they use it to get to the next region. You know, like if you were driving state to state, you would drive through a state to get to the state that you wanted. That's kind of what like a lot of the AI traffic is ultimately doing. So that's why having 2 connections is also not a great idea. It really is not. But everything seems to be, apart from the, you know, gems and all that kind of jazz, everything seems to be moving fine apart from you get to here, because it always comes to a split. They say they fixed the AI traffic. They have not fixed the AI traffic. Anytime it comes to a split, we have an issue. But the issue here is now different because they all want to get on and off this same area. Now, roundabouts could be our friend. They really could be our friend right now, but I think it's a case of just getting rid of some of the traffic lights. There's no traffic, well, get rid of them traffic lights as well. I don't know if dropping a small little roundabout on this area here would be any kind of beneficialness to us, or whether it would kind of slightly mess up our systems. I think we've got 1 road leading in. Do we have the ability to get the chunkier or the asymmetrical road to allow 2 vehicles to turn out? Yeah, this is what I want. So if I made this go this way, oh, and I've just elevated the whole thing. Oh, Seniac. Right, there we go. We're back in business. We're back in business, boys. Right. We've got an asymmetrical road right now, which means it gives us two abilities. Right, it gives us two options or two capacity for two vehicles leading out. I've actually just deleted some buildings there, and I feel really bad now. I feel really bad, guys. I'm sorry. If I delete this one, it'll build a bigger one back in return. And all those people are now jumping out, which now means they've all now got to cross the road. So basically, I've just caused myself more issues than I needed to. So Nick, stop playing with traffic. Stop playing with traffic. So, have the traffic lights come back? I'm sure I just got rid of the traffic lights. There we go. Okay. So, with the ability now to have two vehicles funnel out onto that junction, is it worth maybe having a roundabout here? Or then have the roundabouts there to kind of create some free flowiness? This doesn't help us, the pedestrians crossing the road. So I think ultimately we are waiting for that. To add you in, we don't lose any buildings on the small one, by the looks of it. So we're going to throw a roundabout in, so traffic can be a little bit more free-flowing. We've got a dedicated lane for the left turn, and then straight ahead and right are set up quite nice. Which, by giving them another option, always goes down the road of they're going to merge all over the place. The crossing of the pedestrians is almost over as well. So now will be, like I said, more free-flowing. So waiting for those last few passengers to cross. And then we should be movie. I mean, I could get rid of the crosswalks, because this is such an important junction to have free-flowing traffic. Yeah, it forces them to kind of take a crissy-crossy elsewhere, but it's going to be consistently making this junction here now free. Which I could add roundabouts to these now, but I'm wondering what will happen once it is all free and we've got a bit more movement. But it's just so much backlog anyway. I could create additional on and off ramps leading here, there, and everywhere. And it's a surprise that they're not using this one. How this is like the be-all, end-all. But then again, there's a few using this one, but some of them junctions are awfully close, aren't they, boys? Yikes. Right, have my new crematoriums got anybody yet? No, the vehicles are out and about. Oh, that one's already got some now coming in. And then we had... That one already has as well. That one not yet. So we're starting to see a couple now being processed. So that should hopefully get rid of some of those issues. Now, has this worked in our favour? Oh, actually, it did delete the building in the end. Damn. When I put the roundabout down, it didn't really give me the indication that a building was going to be deleted. But yes, it has. Right, that is moving. So it's just a case of time will remove the backlog. All I've really done is just move the backlog somewhere else. Now, I could create a little slip road coming off here as a way to enter that roundabout. Now, this is just me trying to now get rid or get past all of these issues. Okay? That's what this is now going to become. So if I did that to there... Eee, that doesn't work, does it? Is it because I've got anarchy on, you reckon? Most likely because I've got anarchy on. Right. I've anarchied that as well. Oh my goodness me. What has happened to the road? What in the world happened to the road? What has happened here? Pause. Oh my goodness me. This game never fails to amaze me. Sometimes I can't fathom what is happening. I really can't sometimes. I really can't. Right, I would just like a normal connection, please, where there's no drama. But I don't think I'm going to get that. I'm not destined to have a drama-free day. Right, that... Why couldn't it have done that in the first place is what I want to know. So I've created a little slip coming off there that funnels directly into a roundabout. That will take a little bit of the heat off in clearing some of that backlog. It might... I don't know whether it will completely overtake this junction. I don't know. Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. But I don't want to sit here and kind of try and fix traffic the whole time, because we have bigger issues. Again, more deathcare problems waiting for a hearse. So these crems right now, although we do have everything, we need more. That's all I can say right now, is we just need more and more and more. So we do have the ability to get these smaller ones down. And I could create like a massive area of these smaller ones, to be honest with you. I could kind of come off with a smallish... Give it the anarchy now. Let's go back to normal, boys. Let's go back to normal. Come off you here, bring you slightly down. Jump into the crematorium. So if I went for these smaller ones there... Oh, overlapping with the airport, but we're just going to do a little sneaky little tactic. There we go. These just have an upgrade to add more storage capacity. They can only store up to 25, but because of how small they are, we might be able just to kind of bulk it out slightly. So it holds 3 tiles, so there and then down. You see where I'm going with this, right? Bam, bam, and then delete you, and then bam, 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 bam. Now, ultimately, these are not the biggest. They're not the best. But they're small enough to where you can add a vast amount of them in such a small radius that it kind of bulks up the area with deathcare, and it's not as ridiculous as that, because ideally that does 45, 40 vehicles and 150 bodies processing speed. So 5 vehicles, that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So that's 40 vehicles there versus 40 vehicles there. Okay. Capacity 45, 25, 50, 100, 150, 200. And then press 100. So that is 1, 2, 3, 400. So having loads of them is a lot better than having one big one of them. You see what I mean? It either quadruples the stats or equals the stats of the other one. So pumping more vehicles out, we should have more coverage then on the island. Right. Are they now utilizing this a little bit more? They kind of are. But the issue is it's so close to that. My game runs so slow anyway. And now they're having fun with the hearses. So you're not going to win anyway. Well, that... We should have done that in the first place, the asymmetrical road. And then we drop off the traffic lights, because they've both got their own dedicated lane. Yeah, they're going to have to crisscross and merge, but we're following more through. Now, with this being free, it does allow this road here to kind of move a little bit more. It allows that road to do what it's got to do a bit more. So we then start clearing the backlog from this end a little bit quicker. But like many things, there's not many turn-offs here. I mean, they do choose, a few of them do choose to turn off here. But they're trying to get down to this area, ultimately, is what they're trying to do. So it's just a case of the waiting game. We got huge traffic jams. It's hilarious in many ways. It really is. It really is. And what's the backlogs now saying? Right, I thought we were getting somewhere, guys. It turns out we ain't getting nowhere. Nowhere. So I think it's now time to say this. I treated you. You've been asking me this whole series to build a road to the outside connection. I built it, and now luck falls. Now luck. We're now going to get rid of it. So delete the road. I'm just going to delete it there to allow those last few vehicles to make their way in. Right. I did it. We can all now say I did it, and we all seen what happened, okay? And we all seen what happened. Now we're just going to let it all settle back down and see if OilTown can now recover from these shenanigans that you folios wanted. Right, get it all out. We got to make sure there was no evidence of this even existing previously, okay? We're going to make sure there was no evidence. And then we'll see how the vehicles then start to die down. Will my markets bounce back? Will the high cost of resources... I mean, if you take a look at what they need right now, they need furniture, okay? And when you take a look at what you need to produce furniture, which is material goods, right? Furniture requires the import of wood. Will that disappear? And processed by a factory. And then sold, either exported or to offices and consumers. Now, the import of wood is what is really, 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 really expensive. So if I go all the way up, wood there gets processed into timber, which timber is here. And we are not importing or doing anything with timber. It's too expensive. So we go up, and we don't do anything with wood because it's too expensive. We're just not doing anything at all with the wood. Like I said, it's too expensive. So now we've got that on the go. I'm going to get rid of this slip road right now. It was good while it lasted. It was good while it lasted. But there's issues everywhere else that are leading to it. This junction's a little bit more free now by the looks of it. That vehicle traffic has started to move itself along a little bit easier. So these guys can now move back to that original junction they were turning off, and it's a little bit more free flowing, which is hopefully going to be really good for us. So we're just going to wait for these vehicles to rejig themselves. We are closing in on 350,000 residents, which that growth has been exceeding dramatically. It should technically now start slowing down because they can't just simply drive into the region. But we've now locked in on the island thousands of vehicles, okay? Thousands of vehicles have now been locked in on the island. So that is going to cause absolute chaos for quite some time to come. The only way for me to get rid of these vehicles now is waiting for the people who bought them in to die. We need them then to die, boys. I'm waiting for a whole generation to be skipped, and a new generation who do not have vehicles. It's wild to think how long that's going to now take to completely wipe vehicles back from the island. Now, we have a lot of road around here, as you can see. Car parks are our friend. Now, all of a sudden, people can drive to work. So let's take advantage of the fact that we do have, you know, cars currently here. I don't know if I can squeeze this in. Or I can maybe squeeze you in there and there. Gonna do the same here. So apparently that doesn't... Oh, there's a subway station there. Of course there is. Let me delete you. And if I say to these roads, yo, roads, how do I say no parking? Oh, don't I place trees either side? Yeah, that forces the vehicles to the car park, doesn't it? Some beautiful trees in the industrial area. Oh, I forgot. You got to do both sides, right? Oh, hello, hello. Right, I don't know where the rest of the vehicles are going to go. But I've filled up the car parks. Well, not all of them, because there's a road there currently free. And now I'm going to charge $50 to park there. Such a scam. Right, you can say it, Scamiac, in the comment section. You can say Scamiac. But keeps the roads clear. Not like that we're causing any problems anyway. And generates me a few extra pennies for car parking. Right, so are they now? Oh, this is now a bit more free flow because they can now push down to the next junction, which it then should start backlogging over here again. This is interesting now. This is that we've locked and loaded in a bunch of vehicles. We've deleted the road now coming in, so there is no nothing indicating that there was once a road to the outside region over there. I've now got to get rid of it, which I can delete it. Not too far. Just to here as we access this island right now. But they should slowly start dying down. Now, I don't know how long it's now going to be before we do start importing the goods again that are required for these industries. I'm not sure how long that's going to now take. I mean, we'll soon start finding out when we start seeing stuff that we do not produce slowly coming in. And it seems to be that road connections crash the economy. Shipping and plane connections, well, that's a different beast entirely. It's a different beast entirely. So would you argue that having a bunch of those crems kind of worked? Well, they worked for New Orleans. We're still waiting a vehicle to just get over here right now, but that is pretty much the last one on the island. Adding what we added in over here didn't work too well, so I think these smaller variants might be the way to go forward. And because we have such a big area here, which I'm adding more fuel to the fire by doing this, but I could add a nice row of these. Like I said, more fuel to the fire. Just adding more storage capacity. Slowly going through it. The highway's looking a little bit more free-flowy. But now we're getting traffic moving down to this junction. Damn! We now might experience the traffic waves. So, you know, like in a normal city, you have traffic at different times of day because people go to work and then they come home from work. We've never experienced that in OilTown. You can see different times of day lead to different percentages. So, for the first time ever, we're now going to be seeing it. Apparently, it's really busy down here. Doesn't look that busy to me, boys. Really busy over here. Okay, it does look kind of busy over there. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Is there anywhere like super red? It's mainly the little slip roads, which that does make a lot of sense. And this bridge here leading in. Yeah, okay. The stuff that it does have there does make sense. But now I've got this big overflowing road. So does it still make sense to keep this road connected to the highway now? Forcing them to the highway with the bridges over to these islands? I'm not too sure, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. But the backlog of this right now is finally leaving the last island. Oh, it might take many, 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 many years for OilTown to recover from what's just happened. Right, a bunch of those hearses are now being pumped out. We've got gridlock city for days right now. On this roundabout. Is it worth me oofing this, or am I just casually waiting for the backlog to die down? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But lots of death, lots of issues. New Orleans is okay. They're just complaining about not enough customers. Other than that, I did it. Never ask me to build an outside of the region connection again, because now I need to save OilTown. I keep calling it Town. Guys, until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.